Hello everybody! A few hours ago we have done Budapest half marathon, and I am in Budapest now. On the Buda side there is a Danube river, or Dunai, and we are on some hill with a huge statue of Liberty. It's a awesome picturesque scenic view behind my back. Let's jump to pros and cons of this race. And as I usually like, I will start with cons. And it's really difficult to come up to any. I cannot see any disadvantage of this race. Guys, it was marvelous. The only one I can think of is the t-shirt. They had pretty cheap and not so well designed t-shirt. But come on, it's not so frequent, it's not so usual that you have a t-shirt on the race. If you have t-shirt, it's already a good sign. So it's kind of a disadvantage of this race, that it's a bit cheaper than you would love to have. However, I have many cons to mention, many things which were really great in this race. And let me start with the amount of participants. I'm not sure about the exact number, but my number was around 12,000 something. So I suppose it's about 16,000 people here, or maybe even more. And it is always fascinating to participate in such kind of races. You feel so much of joy, so much of power, of happiness around. The second thing to mention is that the race is barrier-free. If you have your friends who cannot really run by themselves, or you have small kids who also cannot run by themselves, so you can take a pram, put your kids in there and run this race. They don't have any ladders or any parts where you cannot go with the pram. So it's really enabling race. Next thing, the third thing, is the city itself. I'm first time in Budapest. It's a marvelous city, it's beautiful. I heard once that it looks like a Paris, but cheaper. I cannot say that it's extremely cheap, it's maybe a bit cheaper, and it maybe looks a bit like Paris, but it has its own spirit. It has a mixture of Austro-Hungarian Empire, of Roman Empire, of maybe some Soviet Union things. Mixture of everything. Eclectic style, beautiful buildings, and fancy cafes, fancy bars. So we will go to some bars right after this video, and maybe we will record some part in there. On the previous race I was complaining that there was no food, just water. In this race you have everything. You have bananas, you have sugar, you have showers, you have water, and you even have a sponge which is in your starting package, which you can use on every refreshment station to wet it and put it under your head or whatever. Really refreshing and really helpful. It's like the 10th time I already fixing this during this recording. It's getting dark, so it's time to move to some other place. However, I will show the last part of advantages of cool stuff of this race. And this is a medal. It's great. It's so heavy. It's a real metal. I love this kind of medals, and the design is beautiful. It's 33rd race of this type. Amazing. As you may have noticed, I magically teleported to a different place. Now I'm back in Berlin at home, and I'm ready to give you last bits of impression about Budapest half marathon. The next one is support, music, and all this kind of stuff. In this half marathon you will have a lot of different music, different bands playing, both rock and just drums and some jazz. We even had something like It was just impressive. It was really cool, as well as support from just from ordinary people. Everybody were clapping, were shouting. I mean, shouting in a good way, not like get away from him. Yeah, it was a very good experience, very pleasant experience. The next thing is the course itself, the road. It was one lap, as I said in previous video, and it went through very picturesque places, like different embankments along the river in the city. Like it didn't cross the city center. It just went close to the city center, near the Budapest Parliament building, which you may have seen is really amazing. I hope now there will go some video showing it, because I filmed it. And the last but not least is how all these things were organized. I mean, especially the start and the finish part. And start, as it's usual for big races, you had few waves. So you don't have to start in one huge 14,000 group of people. It's like, I don't know, like 4, 5, 6 maybe waves, each kind of 5,000 people or 4,000 people. So it was pretty okay. And the finish, they really thought about finish. It's evident, it's clearly evident that those guys are marathon, half marathon runners by themselves. At the finish, you don't have somebody putting medal on your neck right after the finish line, so you have some time to walk after the finish, to return to proper breathing after you ran. And only then, in like 100 meters or a bit more, you have these guys and girls with the medals. And another thing which may annoy you sometimes in races, at the finish, after the finish line, you have to go into different queues to pick a banana, to pick a isotonic, to pick something else. Here, you just go through a corridor, no queue at all. They just give you a bag with everything. You have like apple there, banana, isotonic, some power bar thing, like everything you need after the finish line. And as a recap, I can definitely recommend going to this half marathon. You will get a pleasant experience, especially if the weather will be nice. If weather will not be nice, you can still have fun on the race itself and then in the bars, and then just go in the city. Stay tuned, thank you for watching, and see you after the next race.